Hi everyone. Today I've got the instrument cluster out of the Milano. I'm going to begin doing the speedometer, the modern air core speedometer retrofit in behind that face there. But before I go ahead and do that, I kind of wanted to see how off this speedometer and odometer really is. You just got to find out what you need to feed that thing in order to get it to basically go. So I have a function generator, and with some, logic, we can figure out what we need to feed this thing in order to get it to wake up. So when I took apart the Milano's transmission, I found that there were 6 teeth on the lay shaft inside the transmission, which is what the sensor is picking up. We know that the ratio of the differential is 3.55, which means that for every revolution of the wheel on the ground, it ends up being 21.3 pulses per revolution on average, basically. We know that the 195/55/15 tires turned 535 times in 1 kilometer, making for 11,395 pulses per kilometer. So if we go 11,395, multiply that by 100 kilometers an hour. So we want to find out what the frequency is going to be that you need to feed this thing at 100 kilometers an hour. And you divide that by 3,600, because 60 seconds times 60 minutes is equal to the 1 over basically which is, the frequency. So we find at 100 kilometers an hour, we need to feed this thing 316 hertz. 316.5. Hell, we can even do exactly 316.5 hertz. Oh. All right. So at 100 kilometers an hour, that's pretty bang on. It's not bad, actually. All right. So we want to find out the air at, let's say, 50 kilometers an hour. So that's half of 50 kilometers an hour is easy. So we want to go 316.5 divided by 2. I don't know that off hand. That's totally fucking wrong. 316.5. 158. Let's just do 158. So this is 50 kilometers an hour actual. It's reading, well, from my angle, it's reading 60. So it's 10 over. I mean, that's not horrid. Let's go to 40 kilometers an hour. I know it was really bad up in this area. So we'll just figure this out. 11,395. Multiply that by 40. Divided by 3,600. 126. 1, 2, 6. So at 40 kilometers an hour, it's reading 50. So that's pretty consistently 10 over. So let's go to 200 kilometers an hour and see what it is. 316.5, multiply that by 2. 633 hertz. You can really hear that odometer working now. And here's where some of the issues start really showing their face. So at 200 kilometers an hour actual, it's only really reading about 188 or something like that. And the biggest problem that was a pain in the ass was I did a stopwatch on my phone here to find out if the odometer was correct. So at 60 kilometers an hour, feeding it the right frequency, you should see 1 kilometer, obviously, in 60 seconds. It wasn't even remotely close to that. So I figured maybe it was counting miles instead, because maybe it had the wrong gear or something in it. So I went up to 60 miles an hour, which is 96 kilometers an hour, did that frequency calculation, and found it wasn't even counting miles, it was actually counting too fast. So I have no idea or explanation of what's wrong with the speedometer. A couple years ago, I actually took the speedometer head apart and put new capacitors in there, because I thought maybe that would improve things, but it honestly didn't change anything at all. So yeah, gonna go ahead with this retrofit, and we will have a better functioning speedometer.